Are live.
Awesome.
Hey,
Hey everyone. Welcome to our part four series AI Teleplex in Action with Contact HQ. It's transforming emergency services with AI today. So just wanted to do a quick update before we get into the webinar. If you today, I know that we're going to be on time and we cannot take all of the questions. So if you have any questions and you want to definitely reach out to us, please reach out to us on this landing page, boundless.software/emergency services webinar. Next slide, please. Awesome. So the agenda for today is very simple. You're going to see our Teleplex, which is our virtual team member, alongside with some of our really good partners for three series now. So in our fourth series, we're specifically going to focus on emergency services, which our Teleplex is going to help you in 75% reduction in dispatch time. And it's going to help you, obviously, being a virtual team member 24 bar 7. For any form of additional hiring, you don't have to do that anymore because now you got a virtual team member. And obviously, this I cannot emphasize enough, and it's been emphasized in the first three parts as well. Time. You gotta save countless hours time doing these routine menial tasks, which you don't have to do anymore. Next slide, please. So, to give a little bit of introduction about our company, Boundless Software, we are an AI automation company. And we always consider ourselves as genies because we whip a wand and we make sure that your wish comes true when it comes to automation because we are middleware specialists. Any integration, any form of ecosystem, anything you want to automate, or you want to scale and get to that enterprise potential, we will help you reach there because a lot of the enterprises have, supported us and we have supported in their enterprise potential journey, like Netflix, US Navy, and some of the other leading organizations. And we are proud to say that we started as a B2B cloud service provider, and now we are into full-fledged generative AI and agentic AI process automation. Our mission is very, very simple. Your enterprise grade software should be accessible to any business. You could be a startup, you could be a mid-market, you could be any form of company, no size, no revenue. It doesn't matter to us. For us, you should be able to getting that enterprise potential in no time with us. And today, again, I'm so happy to give a shout out to one of our partners, Contact HQ. Obviously, I want to do a very good introduction this time because they have been consistently with us for the first three parts. Rob and Craig, I really, really want to thank you to have joined us on our fourth webinar. We're very happy with all your insights, and we always get questions every single day with so many things and updates going on. Stay tuned, guys. At the end, we are going to give some shout outs and updates this time. But Rob is our Director of Partnerships at Contact HQ and joined by our other wonderful partner, Craig, who is our Chief Information Officer for Contact HQ. Few words from you, Rob.
thanks, Ambertha. Yeah, glad to be here. The last ones have been very, very fun and informative, and enjoyed some of the interactions with some of the attendees. Yeah, I'm Rob Bruce. I've been in construction, I just say pretty much my whole life, but I also got into the tech side of things in kind of the early 90s. I ended up in 2016 co-founding a very successful construction management software, SaaS type software. And now I'm over at Contact HQ and the Net Effect. Take it away,
Craig,
Craig.
few words from you as well.
Yeah, thanks, Amrita. The Net Effect is a company that provides a number of different professional services to our end clients. Most of our end clients are in the construction field. However, we also work with many different field services organizations that are dealing with emergency services of varying types, whether it be a plumber that gets called out for a sewer backup, or whether it be a fire department that gets called out for a three-alarm fire. Fact of the matter is that emergency services and the way in which organizations need to react and respond are very, very similar. Of course, they have different levels of urgency. If your house is in the midst of burning down, of course, the fire department needs to move a little bit faster and has a great number of other resources and things that need to be activated from a response point of view. If you got a flood in your basement and you need to call a plumber in a hurry, let's just say that there's probably a little less uh, urgency. Still an emergency issue, but it's far less urgent. So those are the kinds of things that we take a look at when we work with groups that have emergency response requirements.
Thank you so much for that, Kurt. And actually, it's a very good segue to, our technical demo, which would be done from our wonderful senior solutions engineer, Kurt. Before, again, I want to get into that. Again, I want to emphasize, please bookmark our page because we always run out of time and you guys have these wonderful questions we want to always answer. It's Boundless Software slash, emergency services webinar. So please stay tuned and bookmark this page. Now, segueing into some of the use cases today, our wonderful Kurt is going to show is exclusively focused on what Craig had mentioned is, weather prediction and risk assessment and some of the emergency dispatching services. Off to you, Kurt.
All right, yeah, let me start sharing my screen and I can talk about what we are going to be seeing here today. So, starting with weather prediction and risk assessment, this is just going to essentially create reports and information that would be useful to people that you are going to be dispatching to the field, or that might be relevant to the person making the decisions of who goes where, assessing what type of precautions you need to take or people that you need to send to any given location. So all of that information is going to be taken from this Google Sheet, which is going to represent some kind of an ERP or whatever your particular software use case might be. This would all be simulating IoT technology. So just basically, what it is that you're working with, what the status is of your resources, your people, your whatever it might be. We have our available units, the dispatch log, historical incidents, so this way you can utilize this information to make more effective assessments going forward, and then the risk log, and that is the thing that we are going to be looking at here today. One preface that I have to make to this is that you are going to see a new aspect of the Boundless avatar, and that is custom avatars. So the person you're going to be interacting with is not going to just be a templated person or a templated AI, but it's actually going to be me. So I will be helping with our emergency services here. And with that, I will kick into this.
Oh, I'm super excited for this.
I'm seeing double.
Hello, I'm here to assist with risk assessment and
Would you say, Rob?
I said I'm seeing double.
He's just saying he's seeing double.
Let's see. Yeah, could you give me information about the north side of the city?
here's the risk assessment for the north side of the city. Current condition,
And I will preface, it's not my voice, it's only my image in the present.
15 miles per hour winds, 40% chance of precipitation. There's also a heat advisory in effect. Risk scores, fire risk, 25 out of 100. Medical risk, 10 out of 100, low. Accident risk, 30 100, no. Overall risk, 22 Pigger 100, low. Recommendations. Normal staffing levels recommended. This forecast covers the next 12 hours with a confidence level of 85%. Would you like me to send this report via email, or do you need any further details?
Yes, if you could send me that report, I would appreciate it.
The report has been sent to Kurt at boundless.software. Let me know if you need any more assistance or have additional questions.
Now, if we come over here to my email and we hit refresh, given this is just sent to me for the sake of showcasing this email, realistically, this could be sent to your field services teams. This could be sent to someone else for understanding, you know, relevant information pertaining to the field. This could be sent to the people being dispatched. It could go to anyone. I just wanted to showcase that this is one instance of the avatar both being able to work with real-time data, calculate that to make predictive assessments, and then shipping out those reports. The specifics can be tampered with, but yeah, that this is going to conclude the first of the demos and the first one that's using me.
Yay! Super excited. It was fun, actually. The segmentation was really good. What do you think, Rob and Craig?
Um, I can jump in there. I think, and probably said this on some of the other webinars we've done, but as you're watching that, and as I was watching that, uh, my kind of imagination was just going because I think this whole webinar, it's important to understand that this is not just a fixed case here, it's just an example. So what you're limited by is, I've said it before, your kind of imagination, how that fits into your organization, whether you're a municipality, whether you're a plumber and electrician doing service work. Um, it can be taken, it can be go even deeper on the risk assessments by maybe compiling historical weather data, et cetera. Or just looking at past data in your company, that historical data. When do we have the most of this? When do we have the most of that? What part is being used? What's our most common water heater over the last 2 years? And then it can again make that recommendation. So when you're watching all this, like I say, just let your imagination run wild, because probably that's what can be done. So great examples.
Yeah, and the other thing I think that you've shown there, Kurt, is the integration of the AI avatar with the other data systems. So being able to have it interact and know what kind of equipment is available. In your case, you're showing basically what you would find in a firehouse. The hazmat equipment, showing that one of them is in maintenance, two of them have already been dispatched, and then the system talking about utilizing your imagination. This isn't imagination, this is real because I know that I've seen it, and that is you then have the ability to have the AI say, we need to send an emergency team to that location. Here's the tools that are available or the vehicles that are available to go. So, the imagination being as big as it can be, as Rob has indicated, but you've really got a really good use case that's showing equipment being dispatched and what's available. I think that whole integration of different databases is going to be an important tool going forward.
Great
I think
points.
that's a good segue. That's actually a good segue discussed, right? Um, Teleplex and as in a whole, it has that intuitive intelligence to fill in the gaps with any form of workflows. That's what we show with these use cases. It has the capacity to think for any type of organization, and I think our 4 series have now definitely justified that to the audience. Now let's move on to our second use case, which is emergency dispatching services. But off to you, Kurt.
Yeah, I was just going to chime in and say, thank you guys both. Wonderful commentary. But Craig, you hit it right on the head because the availability of seeing what, people you have to dispatch is the next use case. That is going to be something that, although we're using a lot of imagination, you don't have to imagine this one because you're about to see it. So with that being said, I will start sharing my screen again. And keep in mind, again, as I had shown before, whoops, let me, 1 second, computer glitch there. This information is coming from our Google Sheets. So gives you, the availability, knowing who is being dispatched at what time. And with that being said, I will hop into this conversation.
Hello, this is the AI dispatch assistant. How can I help you today?
I need to know what units we have near 123 Main Street.
Here are the available units near 123 Main Street. E103, engine. Station 1, basic capability. ETA, 5 minutes, match 44%. A 301, ambulance. Station 3, advanced capability. ETA 5 minutes, match 40%. M401, medic station 4, advanced capability. ETA 9 minutes, match 39%. What's the incident type and severity so we can pick the best unit to dispatch?
At 123 Main Street, there's been a fire, and there may be people stuck inside the building.
Recommended for the fire at 123 Main Street. Biomol 3, engine. 44% match, ETA 5 minutes. A 301, ambulance. 40% match, ETA 5 minutes. Backup M401, medic. 39% match, ETA 9 minutes. Ready to dispatch E103?
Yes, I am. And I have it set so that E103 is actually not available, and it's going to dispatch a different unit.
E101 has been dispatched to 123 Main Street. 5 minutes. Incident ID Inc. 1764872 19803.
Why did you dispatch E101 as opposed to E103?
There was an automatic adjustment during the dispatch process. The system selected E101 instead of E103, likely because E101 might have a better capability or a more suitable status that wasn't reflected earlier. Rest assured, E101 is on the way with an ETA of 5 minutes. Let me know if you need more details or any further assistance.
And on the note of that being handled, that has been added to our dispatch log, and the availability was blocked, and I did that intentionally so that way you could see it thinking in real time. And I think that's a rather handy thing, and that's one of the benefits of AI. And now, with that being said, and with the log being recorded, I would like to hear everybody's comments.
I did have one question here, though. I mean, I did love the part where it decides on its own, and there's that being programmed because it has the intuitive intelligence. But sometimes people wouldn't want that automatic dispatch as well, because if the person who's showing up at the field, if he's not capable enough to handle that situation, wouldn't that cause a problem? So that can
Yeah.
be, again, that can be customized.
Well, that was the customization because E103 was actually not available and suited for the situation. So just because I had said that didn't make that the best result. So the purpose there was to showcase that that
Oh,
person was not available and that it routed to the best solution to solve that issue. Fixing the human element
okay.
of
Makes
dispatch.
sense. But yeah, they don't have to think so much now because it gives you that parameter that I can take care of it. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's actually a very good thing. Because sometimes in emergencies, you don't always have the capacity to think immediately. I think on fee. AI is helping that. It's a very good thing. Craig and Rob, your thoughts?
Go first, Craig.
Yeah, so I think it's important to recognize that although we're talking about something that's as sophisticated as 911 response, when I say sophisticated, they generally tend to be a lot more complex than the emergency services that let's say uh, people that aren't quote unquote first responders are going to have to reply to, going back to the plumber with the sewer backup. The fact of the matter is, they behave very similarly. All right. My son operates a company that is they service gas station equipment. And and in his particular case, where what this could do is that he could actually take that information, and there's a secondary level. We saw a little bit of it in this demonstration of being able to say which one of my technicians is closest to that incident. When you've got an emergency at a gas station and you've got gas leaking around, it's the first call you make is to your service company. The second call you make is to your fire department. So the point being is that, being able to, as we saw in this demonstration, relate the nearest equipment with the right capability to the emergency is key, whether you are a fire department, a police department, or a plumbing contractor. At all levels, those kinds of things are going to be of great value. And coming back to your point earlier, Amrutha, the ability to save a huge amount of time and solve problems before they are problems, i.e., the changing from 103 to 101.
Because it also has the capacity to segment. It's important. Even when when you give AI all the data and it's not able to use that intelligence to make decisions on its feet, then it's not important for us. Then no, it's not easy to use. But this one, you gave all the data, everything is correctly routed, and it also has the capacity, okay, this one's not available, I'm gonna send something else. Don't worry about it. You don't have to give me additional information or keep training me. I know how to do my job. That's very important.
Yep.
Not every AI can do that.
Rob?
Excellent points, and I think both you guys were kind of talking about the kind of the right tech or the right equipment or something being sent out. And where I was going with all that as you were talking is you could load a lot of, say, historical data into your database. It's probably already there, but whatever, you've got this historical data, and let the AI do the thinking for you to get the right tech to the right job. Um, whether we're talking services, meaning electrical, plumbing, things like that, what every job needs somebody that has certain specialty. And if you have to dig around and, oh, who could handle that? Who could handle that? That's going to just take forever. That's just a time eater trying to figure out who the right person is, especially for even a larger type company. And it's also what I always say about AI isn't here to replace humans. It's here to make them much more efficient. So you're going to if you can take one 15-minute task and reduce that down to 2 minutes, and then multiply how many times you do that task by how many days a week, month, a year, et cetera. How much is that saving you? And not just saving you in time, but it's making you a much more efficient company. So that customer is going to be much happier when the right tech is there. They don't have to go, oh, I have to run out here. I got to run over to the supply house and pick this up. I don't have it on the truck. AI already had that sorted out for you. Who's got that on the truck? So, big difference between a 40-gallon water heater and a 60-gallon water heater, right? So you don't have to do all that kind of small thinking. And the other one is trying to handle multiple calls at once. That gets difficult. I've been in those positions where you're handling calls like that. And when I used to have three phones on my desk and all three would be going at the same time. And I got to remember which is which. I'm just going. If I would have had AI, oh my goodness, I mean, can't even describe that difference if we would have had that technology back then. So
I think that one of the points that you're making, Rob, with respect to historical data, is the fact that you can also start to, if we're talking about service trades that are going out. I'll use a really good example: HVAC contractors. All right, somebody calls up, they've got an emergency, their furnace is shut down, and it's if you're where I'm at today, you're in the middle of a blizzard. So the historical data can be drawn out of a customer's database, or the database that includes the customer, that tells you that they've got a particular manufacturer. The furnace is a Lennox. That it uses this type of filter. That this same furnace has had the same problem 3 or 4 times in the past. All of which is critical data in terms of making that determination on who gets dispatched and what they take with them. If all they have on their truck is the equipment and the filters and all of that for a different brand of furnace, they might as well not even go. Right? So those are the kinds of things that you can do with that historical data to make sure that your operation, whether it be emergency response as in 911, or whether it be the kinds of things that we're sort of talking about here, are going properly equipped and ready to solve the problem.
A lot of that is exactly. I just want to throw something out there real quick for people that are listening, especially if you are a service company. What a great service to provide. The first time you maybe go to somebody's home because they called you, you offer them a service where you're going to document the systems in the house and you're going to punch that into that database. And now that customer is confident that you know everything about their house. Things are going to be handled quickly, just like Craig was saying. And they're not going to call anybody else next time they need service. Why would they? That'd be frustrating for the homeowner. So you've just locked in a customer for life by documenting the systems in the house, putting that into a database, and being able to fix things substantially faster, better, everything.
I think it's also about speed, right? To the both of you definitely said something which, as a customer, I have faced in my life. When there's something happening, my sink is clogged, something's happening in my house. I have to call up a vendor. He will go search for somebody. He will come back in like 3 hours, and I'm sitting over there, clogged sink, can't even brush my teeth. It's even those menial tasks, I can't do it because now I'm relying on a vendor who is slow. AI takes care of that. It's fast, it's thinking capacity, and now I'm a customer for you forever. And then you also have scalability because now you can have more customers because brand awareness, your brand gets recognized based on the speed and efficiency your company is growing into. But Kurt, absolutely, go ahead. I think you've been raised your
Yeah,
hand for a long time now.
all good. I wanted to hop on the point that Rob made when he was talking about there being multiple calls incoming, or having to juggle multiple requests at the same time. That was the main reason that I showcased the avatar changing its decision in the last second. From the time that it gave you who was the most optimal for the situation, to the time that you try to dispatch them, a million things can change. They might be driving in the opposite direction. Somebody else may have come closer. That person may get dispatched to a different call. The purpose of that is to show that it's thinking in real time, right? Even though it was like a 15-second gap, things change in that time. A different call may have come in. Who knows how many people you have dispatching. The purpose, as he had said, enabling more incoming traffic, and then giving the most optimal solution at the time of the decision being made. And I just thought it was handy that he said that, because that was exactly why I did that.
This has been the most fun webinar for the fourth part. So many questions and so many interactivity. Anyways, I wanted to segue into some of the questions our audience are having. We're coming to an end, guys. And like I told you, if any questions you have and we're not able to cover it today, please reach out to us on our landing page. And you also have our personal LinkedIn connections. So make sure to reach out on that page, bookmark it, right? And let's segue into a few questions right now. Okay. All right. So somebody asked, I think Kurt, you can take this question, I guess. How secure is Teleplex when handling emergency incident data or tenant information?
It is extremely secure because you have to realize, in the same vein as everybody making the point that AI is not replacing humans, it's integrating within them. All of your avenues for dispatch and for storing this information, let's say, are generally always established, or if they're not, then they would be. What the avatar is doing is integrating itself into existing secure networks. So it's not opening any weird doors or avenues. It's not given any permissions beyond what you give it, in the sense of, like, if you have the capacity to dispatch, you're using your secured internet, you're using your lines of communication. The same things that you would trust to do them yourself would just be automated, and you would ensure 100% security, if not more so, because now, like, let's say what you have to do if you were to manually dispatch someone was to make a telephone call. Now you're not going to dial the wrong number, right? I mean, you one off, you're calling somebody's grandma. Things could be totally different. You have that, security of working with technology.
Awesome. Thank you. I hope that answers your question. And the second question for the day is, does the system reduce nighttime or weekend overtime calls by filtering out non-urgent issues?
I'll take that one as well. It
Go
absolutely
ahead.
can. I mean, it would depend on your priority and your your particular use case, right? So if something is non-emergency and you want it to be routed elsewhere, this is just like Rob said, utilize your imagination. Absolutely. Or let's say you don't treat anything like a non-emergency and you want absolutely everything routed directly to you, it would do that just the same. It is as you wish.
Awesome. Thank you. I just want to do a last question for the day, guys, because we are over time. How soon do teams typically see, like, for any form of efficiency improvements after deployment? Is it like weeks or is it like months? I think this can be taken by even Craig or Rob. Based on your experience, how soon do these teams see improvements?
Well, that's the kind of work that the net effect does for our clients. Our goal with implementing this would be to make sure that we're bringing in. I hate to use this statement because it sounds so ambiguous, but we're looking for the implementation of this and the client being able to realize the benefits of it in a matter of days. The implementation, the way Teleplex has been structured, an avatar can be attached to a system in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it can be measured in hours. The part that takes the days is connecting it to the databases, as Kurt demonstrated in the case of dispatching. The obviously you don't want it making mistakes, so the connecting to the databases then requires testing to make sure that it's not making mistakes. But overall, I would say that you can probably take a look at a successful implementation in a week or two. To be fair, all of those steps being done: initial setup of the system, database integration into the other systems or applications that it needs to connect to, whether it be a dispatching database or a CRM, and then another little bit of time for testing. So a couple of weeks.
Yeah, one thing I want to throw in there, and yeah, as Craig says, it is going to be that quick, a couple of weeks. And in the past, as I've worked on systems like this and implemented them, especially this one where we've talked a lot about your imagination, is yes, it could be done very, very quickly. Sometimes you might want to do it in phases because you don't know what you don't know. So phase one, you get the basics working, and then you run with that, and then you go, "Wow, could it do that?" Because you never even thought about the possibility yet, because it's so open and endless. And so implement that first stage, use it, learn it, discover what you really want it to do next, and then two, three phases, whichever. Might stretch it out a little bit longer, but you can actually end up with a heck of a lot better system that way. Um, as
I
you
do want to
learn,
emphasize
discover and
this
learn.
with some Rob, thank you so much for that one because this is something I wanted to again reiterate to the audience. The implementation timeline, which Kurt had mentioned on our third part of webinar series, Field Services, it can be done under a day. However, today, not a lot of people have, what all can be automated. How, if is this a workflow which I even want to automate, or do I want that human element in it? Or is this something I want to automate then now as a first priority than a week later? So do it in phases, guys. Don't just come up saying, I want to automate everything. I want every functionality within Teleplex, and I want to do this and that and this and that. We can do it in phases because you don't know what you don't know. You are on a journey with Teleplex, and we want you to reach to that efficient scalability enterprise potential like you are. So absolutely do it in phases. Don't rush into the decision of adding every functionality. And Teleplex, based on your workflows and functionalities, you will see benefits in a matter of days. We are very confident on that one because we are middleware specialists. We can connect different systems, and I think with the demonstration today Kurt has given, for us, connecting to systems is that easy. However, you need to be clear on what you want. Anything you want to add, Kurt, to that?
No, I think you covered that well. I was just going to tee up Craig and Rob for any closing comments, and then Amrutha, you can wrap us up.
Any closing comments, Craig and Rob, for today?
The overall utilization of AI is not going to go away. And the development of such tools as an avatar, like we're seeing there, we're going to start to see more and more of it. Those who are slow to adopt to these new technologies are going to find that they're losing their competitive edge, or they're losing efficiency opportunities, which may be the competitive edge. So I leave it at that, and just let everybody know AI is here to stay.
I'm not going to add
Awesome.
much
So
because
sorry, go ahead, Rob.
no, it's okay. I was just going to say I don't have much more to add because Craig just said that very well, and to just put it in almost a one-liner is, if you don't, your competitors are. So what are you going to do?
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. But I always mention this in the beginning of our webinar. Stay tuned for updates. Very quick update. We are coming to an end with our webinar series. And this time, you catch us every Thursday at 1 p.m. But because it's December and everybody wants to go to Christmas vacations, and obviously you're also anticipating for New Year, you're going to catch us on a Tuesday, December the 16th at 1 p.m., which is our last part webinar series, which is AI Teleplex for Builders. We hope you join us for our entirety of a journey. And also, we are coming up with many different use cases, many different applications for the new year. So please stay tuned with us with Boundless Journey. Thank you all, and thank you for joining for today, our fourth part. See you on the fifth part.
Take care, everybody.
Ciao, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Take care.